Welcome to Persephone's Tavern.
Welcome back to Ivola. I am your DM, Trevor Trench. Joined as always, we have Hayden Poindexter,
Goliath Ormander,
Austin Boyette,
Elara Viraleth,
Nick Lloyd,
Yuriael Gloomraven,
and Andrew Goebel.
Azamir Ashford.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Well, I'm sure we could all use a refresher, so let's jump into this recap. So, last we left off, the party woke in their rooms they had rented at the Opal Claw Manor. Galil and Azamir woke to find Edgar already awake ahead of them, writing in a book in the corner. Galil said a little prayer before bringing the boy down for breakfast to reconvene with the others. There it was revealed that Elara's appearance had shifted to that of an icy winter eladrin in the night, more closely reflecting the cold environment of the mountain. Together again, the party enjoyed a quick breakfast, all but Azamir. Remaining in the room, Azamir was in the process of casting a magic mouth spell on his pack to protect it from thieves. With this new feeling of security, he too went downstairs to join the others. After delving into each other's motives for traveling to the town of Bahamut's Spine, they decided to split up into the town to handle various interests. While Azamir would make his way to the tailor, and Yuriael and Edgar saw to his horses and inadvertently bonded, Galil decided it was time to find out what had become of his family he had left behind many centuries ago. He would make for the graveyard he knew, but requested that he be allowed to go alone. Curious about Galil's intentions, however, Elara decided to take animal shape and stealthily follow him. Along the way, the familiar road brought back many memories, but the passage of time had brought overgrowth and neglect to the path he once knew. It was along that reminiscence that he soon realized he was walking home. His childhood home was but a stone's throw from this path towards the cemetery, and curiosity soon took him. Moving along the overgrown footpath, Galil found his mother's house and forge, all but swallowed up by the surrounding evergreens, dilapidated but still standing. While Elara kept her hidden vigil, Galil stepped inside the darkened forge. He found it as he remembered, but every inch covered in thick soot. Suddenly, the forge came alive with a burst of fire. A small billet inside began to glow within moments. As it burned, a plume of thick black smoke began to fill the room. First a haze, then a fog, and finally a dark void of acrid pitch. His lungs burned with each breath as he watched the shadowy winged figures with vicious weapons moving at him through the smoke. Clutching his hammer, Galil met the creatures in battle, fueled by his fear and hatred for these shadowy entities. Galil suddenly heard the commanding voice of his mother in his mind, breaking him of his frenzy and giving him a moment to take the heated billet outside the forge, cooling the metal in the snow. As it cooled, Galil came to the realization that the metal was that of the broken staff and of his shackles. As Elara would explain, it was a magical component known as aethersite. As she described the mineral, Galil spotted yet another glint of light inside the forge. Moving to investigate, he discovered a suit of pristine armor with the symbol of Andromeda emblazoned on the chestplate. As he touched the armor, suddenly the black smoke lingering in the forge was expelled, clearing the forge of all the smoke. Galil reemerged holding the armor, filled with conviction. After donning it, the pair continued on the path to the graveyard. Pressing past the overgrowth and snow, in an all but forgotten cemetery, Galil made his way to his old family plot in search of some insight about the rest of his family's fate. Among older family members, the most recent of his departed kin was his mother. Her grave was wreathed in juniper berries and indicative of a long dwarven life. Beyond that, it seemed that not just the Ormander, but decisively dwarven families left this area long ago. Galil took a tearful moment to pray and reflect over her headstone. Emotion fueled by not just grief, but the realization that his curse may have not just been his. Instead, its darkness might extend to those in possession of aethersite relics, any number of which might have circulated through the kingdom by now. Meanwhile, in search of a tailor, Azamir found a small shop called Summit Stitches. Inside he finds a quiet establishment with basic clothing options. As he conversed with the shopkeep about getting set up with warmer attire, he inquired about certain nefarious activity in the area. Though the shopkeep insisted that he had not heard such rumors, he wore a tell that indicated some level of criminal underground in the area. Azamir didn't press the issues, paid for his goods, and left. By now, the party had regrouped just outside the tailor. Galil was first to tell of what happened to him at the forge, showing the chunk of aethersite to the others. Though it seemed inert in its current state, Azamir mentioned that his grandfather wrote an essay about this mineral, and once came to Bahamut's spine in part because of the availability of it. Galil speculated that his family might have devised a technique to forge with the material as well. Discussing all the implications of these discoveries, Galil suggested that there must be a vein nearby, and that they needed to find its location sooner than later. Before deciding where to look, though, it began to rain. And as the party ran into the tailor shop to get out of the rain for a moment, Galil heard a pained moan piercing the air, leading his gaze towards the Border Watchtower. And that is where we pick up.
Something strange up at that watchtower.
Whatever it was sounded like it was completely in agony.
Someone at the watchtower needs help. And I just immediately turn around and go back towards the watchtower out into the rain. I cast light on my hammer to sort of push into the darkness, into the rain as we go.
So yeah, I guess
You see Edgar is kind of... He's been following Yuriael around all day, and as it's raining, it seems like he's kind of just trying to stay close to the tall folk and try to curb the rain hitting him. He seems the most uncomfortable.
We should probably leave him some.
Yeah, we should send Edgar with some money and get our rest for the night. No, just get our room.
Pin a 5 to his collar. We're like, that's the one.
Yeah, who wants to...
Sorry, not
do we want to send him back to the Opal house?
Yeah.
Yes. The Opal Manor.
So send him with enough money to get 2 rooms.
Yeah, here.
I trust Edgar.
2 gold.
Yeah, I was about to say 2 gold. I'll send him
way too much.
Sure.
He pulls on your cloak and he says, "Is this a quest?"
Not a little.
I look back and say it is.
I heard the one.
He snatches the money bag as you get it. He gets real low in like a fight stance, and he goes, "Green mask is on the case."
Oh my god.
And he goes running off.
Awesome.
You're
Green Mask will see you tonight.
You're gonna get him killed.
Yuriael puts up his red mask so no one sees, but he's just so full of pride and grinning right now.
It's raining, so you can't see the tears either.
Yeah, tears streaming out. He's full on Guy Sensei.
It's funny because you don't know if it's residual from you casting Speak with Animals earlier, but you swear you saw Niall look at you, and in your head with the Speak with Animals, residual or otherwise, you just kind of see her hanging on and going, "This isn't healthy for you."
God dang it. Onward.
Well, yeah, he's on the case. He heads off to the Opal Claw Manor. It's well seen in most parts of the town, and he's on his way.
We best get going.
Yes, no, better hurry up.
You guys are heading towards the Border Watchtower? Is that where you guys want to get? Yes. As you guys are running, you notice none of the town's guard around here are kind of doing anything unusual. They're all staying at their posts, even more so with the rain, staying underneath the nearest awning that they can and kind of ducking underneath produce carts and stuff and just still watching the streets, but not moving towards anything of an imminent threat. You notice that. You're kind of, bounty hunters, city watch, alarm bells start going off. Why are we panicked? Nobody else seems to be.
What are you, deaf? Do you not hear these cries?
You see, the one you yell kind of looks around, looking up in the sky, and he's like, "No, all safe clear. What are you going about?"
The watchtower. I just keep going.
Kind of looking at you funny as you guys go by. He doesn't really have time to engage much, but he says, "The watchtower's off limits. Ain't no one get one over there."
I am, and I'd like to see you stop me.
Oh, I won't have to stop you, psycho.
Why he say that?
He knows something I don't know.
Yeah, I keep going. I don't necessarily trust the guard of the town, but I don't necessarily trust my own mind either, but I feel like the only way I'm going to end up trusting my own mind is checking and seeing if I'm hearing things or not. Real rats in the walls type situation. I need somebody else to see the rats.
My friends are running this direction, so I'm running with my friends.
Different motivations.
All right, so you guys run ahead, following Galil in tow. You remember the path well. It goes straight down the main street following the ever-present vigil of the tower in the distance. And you know that there's a drawbridge gate that goes from the edge of the cliffside to where the tower is, which is built on its own separate spire of the mountain. So it's using an almost natural watchtower as its foundation. And as you guys approach, you start to see the distant break of the trees where there's no more growth, just a drop off in an ever expanding eastern expanse of mountains. It's dark. All you're seeing is really just the fading silhouette of twilight and the flash of thunder in the distance from the storm. But you see this pitch void of where there's no more forests, nothing but sky, and the promise of a drop coming. And as you guys come out of this clearing and into the edges, you see this tower standing massive ahead of you. Clouds seeming to swirl in spiral around the locations above it. As you guys run up to the edge, you take all this in, and there's a crash of thunder and lightning, and you see that this lightning seems to hit the top of the tower and shoot into, you see like a shower of sparks flash off the top of it and kind of simmer down really quick as it happens. And when you hear that crack sound, it rumbles all through the clouds, and you see like a almost spider web like a rapport from the cloud as the lightning kind of goes up and dissipates into the cloud and crackles in like a spider web like pattern from the central, and it just dissipates into the cloud as energy as it does that. And as you notice that, you kind of trace your eyes down, seeing faint, ever so faint glows of light in different porculous windows along the tower's exterior. But then you come down and you see a drawbridge that is pulled up to the tower, gaining no access to the road.
How long is the drawbridge?
It's about 120 feet across, probably 40 feet wide, and it drops off almost immediately.
That's what they
Look around for a way to let the drawbridge down, or does it not let down from the side?
Looking around, difficult to see, but you do see across the chasm a small little gatehouse next to the drawbridge. You just see like a small little booth where you would assume that that's where the main mechanism is.
Can you jump in the floor area?
Like, you know, you guys are kind of close. You kind of look over the edge and quickly can't see past where your dark vision stops, and you just, you know, kind of kick a rock and you just hear it tumble into the abyss.
These localized storms aren't so weird where I'm from, but is the lightning what you heard?
That lightning doesn't fill into buildings like that.
Usually lightning also doesn't moan.
I'm thinking necromancy.
What?
Necromancy.
I thought you said necro-Nazi.
I thought that's what you said too.
Scan of the area, did I notice any good areas where I could like lodge an arrow with a rope securely enough that I might trust it to?
No, you don't necessarily see that, but what you do see with that nat 20, and had it not just been a momentary pass of your eyes in that direction, you wouldn't have. You just see the familiar flash of a match stoking a pipe. You see just a and then a crackle of flame against dried
Dragon
herbalism. And you don't even see a silhouette, you just see the flash and just a little outline of a face that fades away as the fire goes out.
Hey guys, wait here for a second. I'm going to investigate this. And then I
stand there and
he's like, step out of the light source and walk away.
So yeah, Laura notices that Yuriael is you lose sight of him because he goes invisible. Nothing you can do about that. But you hear his voice just slightly over the rain, talking to somebody.
Put your elven ears here.
I'll make my way up to dude.
I hear him moving over there.
And I say, friend, it is so good to see you. I'm so glad to have come upon you out here, and I wish I had time for a game of dragon chess. But we're on a quest, it seems. Do you know a way to get across this bridge?
He kind of stamps his pipe for a second, exhales just very slowly, and then he says, well, I'd imagine you'd use the drawbridge.
Yes. I was thinking the same thing, but it's quite a long ways away. Do you know a good way to get over there?
Well, I can think of quicker ways to a clean death if that's what you're looking for.
A clean death would be nice, but I much prefer a valiant one. So maybe a dragon?
The guards have this tower pretty locked up tight. You see, it's fallen out of disrepair.
I see.
And they don't like anyone from the public to go inside.
Oh, well, we are very private.
That I can tell.
Are they though?
You see Galil in the background just throwing a rock, seeing how far it'll go over the gorge.
I cast magic stone.
About 60 feet.
Yeah, magic stone.
I did hear one of the guards say it was closed off. I mean, how bad can the disrepair be? My friend said someone needs help here, and it's what we do. We help.
Says, perhaps your friend was mistaken.
Quite possibly, but he's not my dumb friend, so maybe not. It's fine if not. I might be asking a lot of you. I mean, you seem very capable, though, from our conversations and games.
He says, officially, the drawbridge is the only way to the tower. That's how it was designed, for its own protection. But the foundations of that tower run deep into the earth. And there are other masters of the mountains than just the legacy of the dwarves.
Oh, who else but the dwarfs dare to delve deep in the mountains?
Well, there are those that inhabit the Glitterscale Gorge, of course. Dragonkin.
Oh.
The kobolds.
I have encountered them. They slew a dear friend.
But then there are others that protect the borders of the surface and the Underdark. Bullywugs and other inhabitants of Uzu Lake. He asks you, after answering your questions, he says, why is it you wish to go into the tower?
To help.
Help what?
Whoever needs it. All I know is that there is someone or something in there that needs our help.
And if I told you whatever you would find in there is beyond your help, would you believe me?
I might, but I would still try.
Very well. You'll want to find a cavern known as the Cistern.
The cistern.
You'll find its entrance further down the mountain. And he kind of looks at you with this knowing gaze and takes this puff of his pipe and it flares back up and you see his face light up for just a moment. And he looks at you intently with these dark eyes that just seem to absorb the light more than cast it away. And he says, I might look perhaps where a place where the sanctity and foundation of the mountain has been disturbed. There has been movement under our feet in recent months. Whatever you've come to find, I hope you find it quickly.
I do as well, friend, and I thank you for this information. I feel there is much I have yet to learn from you.
It's my pleasure. I'm an old man, and I'm overdue for a little excitement around here. One more thing. The guards are looking for someone. Should you come across them, you would do well not to impede them.
I see.
That is all I will say.
Thank you for your wise words.
Can I do some sort of inside check?
I start heading back.
Quite
Check
possibly
the
you've just been
validity.
eavesdropping on the whole time.
I want to check the validity of this person. And also, in the flare of, well, I have dark vision. Can I discern any type of race or anything from this person?
He looks human. He looks like an old man. There's something uncanny about him, but nothing more than another creepy old man might be able to achieve. Can't put a pin on it, but you can roll an insight check based on what he said. Kind of let that envelop the entire conversation, not necessarily his motives, but you can tell that he's being truthful, but he seems to be delivering the truth in a way that serves his own means.
So yeah, as Yuriael's coming back, I don't know if Elara would be listening or not because she might have been listening to that conversation, but I'm just spouting off alright, so what if we throw Goliath up, cast Featherfall, he floats across the cavern, grabs onto the drawbridge, climbs up.
It's feather fall, not feather fly.
Falling at a lower angle. You'll be on a glide.
You'll have to glide.
And I relay the information about the Cistern Chapel and how he...
That's not what it was.
Chapel.
That's wrong. That's pretty good.
Wait, so there's an entrance underneath the mountain.
Correct.
You have to
The
go all the
cistern.
way back down the mountain?
Down below.
And in the middle of the ring. How important is it to get inside this watchtower?
Are you certain that you heard something from here?
Listen, the harder it has become to enter this watchtower, the harder I am to get in there.
Can I do another Arcana check to see if I
Did that
know
come out right?
how the lightning traveled through the building, if it was unnatural or not?
You're not sure, but you do stare at it for quite a while as Uriel's kind of slinked off into the dark. You're watching, throwing rocks and watching Azimir consider jumping with a feather fall. And you're just watching and you see that another lightning strike comes and it does the same thing. It hits the top, there's like a spray of light, and then you see it almost kind of rebounds back up and disperses into the clouds again. Something is pulsing with that, but it's so high up, like it's hundreds of feet up.
I say, whether or not I heard
top.
anything, have you ever seen lightning do that?
So he mentions it, and I just kind of do a thing. I flourish my hands and drag my finger across my eyes and cast magic. Detect magic. Is there anything within 60 feet that might be magical?
Yes. You suddenly see this outline appear. You weren't aware of this figure, but you see the old man that Yuriael was talking to. You just see his figure outlined in a like this purple silhouette around his cloak, and you see like he's just sitting there puffing on a pipe, and you're just aware of the cloak glowing.
So as he's doing that, I want to say,
Yeah, I just kind of squint my eyes a little bit. He's like, anyone else see that?
I can't see anything. I hold my hammer up with the light, and I'm like trying to look, spotlight whatever he's looking at.
he really seems to know a lot about what's going on around here.
Wait, you do?
Who?
More than
I
anyone
mean,
else.
you're aware of him at this point. Like you would, he doesn't seem to flinch at the point of being discovered.
Yeah,
He's very casually taking cover from the rain underneath a large tree, and he's leaned up against a wooden fence, just watching you guys and puffing on a pipe.
I'm whispering, and I want to say, I get the sense
He's got a
that
cloak up and a hood on,
telling
keeping the
you
rain out of his eyes.
what serves his purpose.
Well, yeah, we're friends. His purpose is,
He most
Making sure
likely
I stay
knows
alive.
much more than he's letting on.
well,
Doesn't it seem a bit strange?
I can tell you this. I know he very much wants to play another game of Dragon Chess after I whooped him last time,
He may not get the opportunity.
which is why he told me what he told me.
Just enough to land you in a spot of danger, it sounds like.
Or to get me out of danger. Obviously, whoever this fellow is that the guards are after is someone that we should not interfere with.
That bit was strange as well.
I mean, the guards are after someone?
They are.
Didn't we come up here to try to find this underground guild? Well, this might be in the tower, actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm curious if there may be some sort of aethersite farming or mining going on beneath ground, and if my mother was able to craft aethersite into something that was usable for good, I worry that it might be possible, seeing what we saw with the kobolds and their staff, that other evil forces are using the aethersite for themselves.
Well, to be honest, now that we brought this into question, I'm actually really excited to get into this watchtower. I would love to see some actual aethersite after what I've read.
If you truly believe that the scream that you heard came from here, I suppose that we should investigate further.
I think first we need to locate where this cistern is. He said at the base of the mountain where some movement had happened, right? Some disturbance.
Where's some disturbance?
Disturbance
Well,
was the
there
word.
is movement inside the mountain, so there's something traveling around inside.
Do you think the kobold caves that we saw back earlier on our way in led down to the subterranean caves that would lead here?
I asked Yuriael, he was the one who went in there.
This must have been before I showed up.
Yeah, before, right before, actually, we were in some kobold caves at the base of the mountain. We definitely didn't explore all of them because Chris...
You know, having spent time in there and having found a successful way from one end of, Grizzleby Pass back to the main road, that there was a lot of that system you guys didn't explore, and it's very likely that the kobolds are very well established within the mountain. It's very likely that there could be other paths that go deeper. That doesn't necessarily guarantee that it's going to lead you to this underground cavern system that the man was talking about.
He just told you it was at the bottom, but there wasn't like a neutral trail.
Disturbance. So maybe we ask around about where there's been a disturbance, or
The base of the mountain, we're going back to Dragon's Breath, right?
Azamir, you recall it only happened moments ago. During your conversation with the shopkeep at the tailor, you revealed to him that he was very shocked to discover that his trade route had been interrupted now because the bridge was out due to a rock slide. Potentially the same rock slide that took out the convoy.
Yeah, we gotta... Okay, so where are we in relation to that? Are we on the same sort of road that would lead if we kept going back?
If you just went out the main gate and traveled down the main road without any diversion, it would probably take much of a day to get there. You could go back to the north side of the ravine.
Question is, do we go back and leave in the morning and let Edward know what's going on, or do we go now?
Do we want to take Edward? No, we shouldn't take Edward.
We don't want to take Edward, but if we don't come back, how long is he going to stay?
Buttons at the bottom of the
How long will he be allowed to stay?
We said with
we
two
gave him
gold.
2 gold. That's at least like what, 3 nights?
I am still perplexed by this idea.
Seems like a big
Gold.
mansion, I figured.
You trade metals in exchange for services?
Kind of, yeah. What do you do? Leaves?
Well, we don't use metal. It's usually services for services, or wisdom for services, or usually we do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Well,
Those are old times.
Have you given him enough metal to stay here for a length of time?
I think you can stay there for a couple
At least a couple
time.
times.
couple days, yeah.
Probably weeks.
Well, how much was the
Cave
cost?
systems
Like
you speak of
five-
may lead us
five
under the
copper?
mountain.
Yeah, it was cheap. Yeah.
It was like,
Took us almost a day of travel after you
Again, we were going up. This is going to be on the main path back to the bridges. Unless we want to go back down and try to enter. Well,
Unless
the co-op
we're able to drop the drawbridge from the other side.
I start
I'd say the safest place, if we're going
off the cliff.
If we're going, our plan is to make it to a cave. It's a day's travel. I say we travel towards a cave, and maybe we could set up camp for the night if we can.
I mean,
we can find
do we
anything.
want to do that now? When I point up towards like the rain and the storm.
I think we rest along the way. I don't think we turn around.
Yeah, we probably rest once we get to the cave.
So we're leaving right now in the pouring rain.
I have already left. I'm 60 feet in front of you.
Yuriael,
He's invisible.
gone.
You could, if you wanted to go back to school. That was the last town, brother.
I'll run along behind Yuriael.
Shit.
We chase on you. We leave.
I suppose I'm an adventurer now. Okay, hold on. I start going through.
Hold out your magic card. I'm not going to get a new one this next semester, am I?
It's like, I should have.
It just burns up in your hand. Expired.
All right, so
yeah,
onwards to the Underdark.
We're running.
You guys been marching? Are you guys going like fast pace? Trying to book it?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys are going double speed, you'll have disadvantage on your perception checks if anyone wants to roll on the way, but we can get you there twice as fast. So-
All I'm being wary of is that we don't continue to run into the gorge when we get there.
How I know. You guys begin moving at a brisk pace through the rain. It's boots into thick mud of slushy snow as you guys move down the road out of the main gate. The guards kind of give you a bewildered look as they open the gate for you as you ask to pass and, warn you of what is clearly unsafe traveling conditions.
Yeah.
Are you looking for love? I know a place. You give me 2 gold coins right now, I'll point you in the right direction.
Please do
I'll
not
give you that magic
embarrass
mouth.
Oh, there's only one place in my whole, and that's just old Double Claw Manor. He kind of gets all starry-eyed for a second.
She's a nice lady.
Where did we send Edward?
The Opal Claw.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I mean, that does kind of trigger a thought. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean there's prostitutes? We don't remember getting offered any prostitutes.
Yeah, how come they get prostitutes?
I'm a priest. I'm a cleric.
Sorry, Folder.
Yeah. 3 Hail Marys and on your way.
He kind of like snaps too, like almost like he's been reprimanded by his superior. He's kind of, as you were.
How much further are we from the chasm that the Brooklyn Bridge was at?
11 miles.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna take you a while.
Yeah, every 30 minutes I'm just doing a prestidigitation to clean up.
Are we
It's such an arduous task.
approaching sunrise?
No, it's just dark. So you guys are like,
It's probably like 8:30.
instead of going to the inn and having dinner, you guys are going on the road basically.
I'll cast Produce Flame and just kind of hold it in my hand.
Well, like you're still getting quite a little faint glow off of it, but it's very stifled by the rain.
Does everyone feel all right? Is the cold getting to anyone?
I'm wet.
All right, Yuriael takes point, and he's able to, suss out deep puddles and things that are making travel more difficult and just kind of weaving through the road and keeping you guys on pace. And it's not difficult to follow the main road because you do literally go through a gorge-like path, somewhat of a canyon. But the whole way as you're going, you are having trouble kind of distinguishing anything because the rain is coming down, breaking your field of view, and out of your periphery you just see, stones whizzing by as quick as you can run. Leal and Azimir, you are oblivious to this as you move, unable to distinguish things out of your line of sight. But once again, with their higher perceptions, Elara and Yuriael, out of the corner of your eye, with just a flash of lightning, you see the silhouettes of some quadruped creature crawling along the top of the canyon, eyes trained on you as it stalks your path.
I'd halt immediately.
Well, you can
Turn
do
to
that,
face it.
but I ain't. It's across,
my eyes
it's
on
across the canyon.
When he stops, I say, "What are you?"
So imagine you're moving through canyon walls on each side, and you're just like Naruto run,
Oh,
and then you look
it's
up
on
and you
top.
see it up there.
Yeah, we're in a valley.
following your path along the rocks and just keeping its eye
How
trained.
much more canyon is
Yeah, I
there?
stop and pull out my.
The walls aren't as high up the further you are up at this point. They get deeper as you go, but right now there's only about 60 foot of cliff up to the top.
Oh shit!
I imagine like Asmir's like still kind of slowly jogging along. He's like, "What are you guys doing?" And it like steps in like a 3-foot pothole that was invisible due to like the mud and puddles.
Wow, your steers wide road.
I described the big quadriplegic thing,
That's not what he
and
said.
I say, "Don't look."
Quadriplegic.
That's my words. Sorry.
Quadruped. All right.
But yes, the quadruped creature. And you just saw its silhouette. Now that the lightning's gone, the side of it is gone. You don't see it anymore, really. The light is too dim, and you're looking where it was, and all you see is a small pebble roll down the cliffside to you.
I whisper and I
And there's
say,
an air of silence beyond just the rain pelting you.
"We've been marked. Something is hunting us."
Not a great position to be hunted from.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, we keep going though, right? We don't just stand here and wait for them to come to us, do they? Do we? What was it? What are you guys talking about? What are you?
I saw nothing, not a glimpse of anything. So you two continue to keep an eye out.
Yeah, no, I'm still doing this. If we're running the rain, I want to get through this as fast as possible.
We'll continue at a normal pace, I guess.
Okay.
Prestidigitation.
And I want to maintain focus on anything entering our perimeter.
I'm also trying to maintain focus on the perimeter.
So as you're looking around, much more aware of what's following you, you begin to hear shifting pebbles above you again. And as you look up, you see a almost canine-like creature with large snarling teeth and a curled back, almost bat-like snout.
Who sees it?
Elara and Uriel. The others would probably be aware of the sound of pebbles dropping, though. And you see this creature is like almost like a cat climbing out of a tree. It's got its, paws gripped into the side of the cliff and is slowly kind of trying to climb down towards you to make an attack. But
I'm going to instantly mark it. Like as I see it, I get a proficiency attack and concentrate to mark a creature. I have to hit it first to mark it. Never mind.
okay, we need to roll initiative.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see, two of them are already scaling down the cliffs, and more of them are yipping and barking at the top of the cliffside. Top of the round, as you guys realize you are being ambushed in the dark, rainy environment around you, feet almost ankle deep in mud. You see these beasts crawling down the walls at you, some more clearly than others. And Azamir, at the top of the round, you see the trail of rocks scraping down and leading up to this beast that is a mere 15 feet above Elara's head, snarling jaws ready to pounce.
Oh, I see this. I'm like, oh, hells no. This is not about to happen right now. And I'm just going to take out my book, open it up real quick, and thrust it out as the rain around kind of crystallizes, but I change it to be force because of my wizard feature, my Order of the Scribe feature. So I'm casting Ice Knife, but I'm changing the damage to the magic missile damage. So the water just kind of crystallizes before it kind of explodes and disperses into this kind of like a wave form as it shoots out towards this creature.
All right.
Alright.
Your dwarf eyes. I got 2 eyes.
Is it only the one around it, or is it...
There's one that's right where you were now attacking you, and there's another one about 15 feet up that's in the process of crawling down as well.
Okay, so if nothing will get hit in the AoE, whatever. I already casted it. That's going to be a 19 to hit.
Still gonna hit.
Alright, that's going to be a d10 of... What gets changed? The piercing or the cold damage?
Probably
The
buck.
cold.
Okay. So 3 for what would have been the piercing damage. And then on explosion, 6. So anything around him would take 6. So yeah,
All right, as you shoot this shard out, kind of in this wave form, it blasts into this creature, and you see it's almost like it's pushed against it instead of shattering like your ice knife would normally and bathing it in the ice shards and cold damage, it almost blasts against the top of it, because you see you have this almost top-down view of it while it's crawling down the mountain. And when you hit it, you see it smashes it into the wall a bit of a push. And you see like some of the stone crumbles beneath its claws. And as it does, you see it takes this damage and kind of flinches, but it also loses its footing and slides down the mountain, taking an additional 12 bludgeoning damage as it almost topples and twists in on itself awkwardly as it slams down to the ground a mere 5 feet from Elara.
So this thing falls right next to you.
And you see it's just, flailing for a moment as Azamir kind of backs off from the spell. And it's going to go to the warg's turn out of the same group of the one that fell. So as it's scrambling, it kind of gets back up from prone, almost favoring one of its legs from the fall damage. And looking to the nearest target, it kind of just almost instinctually, having just been hurt, lashes out at Elara with a bite. So yeah, this warg is going to bite Elara. That almost, as I said, it was like an instinctual thing in
The shield.
the result of being hurt is you just put this, it's like a buckler, right? A small,
Yeah, wooden buckler.
you just kind of put this shield up right at its mouth and it just can't get a bite on you. You feel the weight of its power though, like its head is enormous, and it clamps down on the shield and pushes against you. And then the other one that's above is kind of in prime position to jump. All right, so yeah, he's gonna pounce at the next, easy-looking target. He's not wearing gleaming splint mail.
Sorry,
he's not invisible to the naked eye. He is.
I'm wearing a muddy trench coat.
Muddy trench coat and
about to be
just as
muddy.
biteable as Elara. So you see, like, with a very powerful lunge, it jumps off the wall, paws out at you, mouth agape, it comes at you. You kind of just sidestep it just in time, stumbling in the muck as you do, as this thing just lands right next to you and turns to face you, engaged in your position. All right, and then last one on that initiative is the third one for this group. You see, coming out of the darkness, for those that can kind of see past the dark vision, another one is starting to climb down. And it kind of looks overzealous, like it's going to just take a leap. This third warg is trying to crawl down this cliff, and as it does, it begins to lose its footing and just decides to commit to the jump anyways. It just completely eats shit as it basically tumbles just like the other one did from a much higher distance. And it's like watching some fucked up Animal Planet shit. This thing just goes boom, 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 and just falls with a whimper. Like it's on an inch from death, but it is clearly out of this fight. And then with that, the initiative goes to Elara.
Is it still like thunderstorm?
There's heavy rain and lightning. Nothing, you haven't felt imminent of getting struck by lightning, but you can see the flashes of lightning in the distance, and there's been steady rain.
Now we'll cast Call Lightning.
Why would he say that?
Okay, I stand corrected.
So instead of summoning a cloud, I use the already potent storm cloud that is raging above us.
Absolutely.
And I will target the warg that was attacking Azamir. And so under that condition, the spell's damage increases by 1d10. So it needs to make a dex save.
That is a 4. That is a fail.
All right. 31 lightning damage.
Whoa!
Dead.
So yeah, that one just instantly electrocuted.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Like it's.
Azamir freaks the fuck out.
I mean, it is quite graphic because you see this thing is staring at you intently, snarling, and then you just crash of lightning hits it, and it just goes stiff as a board for a second before falling over.
It's, so still my turn. You said there's a warg within 5 feet of me?
And it looks quite injured too.
I will cast Face Step and teleport, I guess 30 feet off to the rightish, kind of where we came from, outside of the ire of the wargs and away from our party.
That would likely put you back towards where Azamir is, just a little bit further back.
Okay. And in my winter form, the effect changes to anything that was one creature that I designate within 5 feet of where I was has to make a wisdom save, or else it's frightened of me.
As you teleport away, it's almost like you leave this spectral, ghostly version of yourself that is left behind, and it's almost like the frigid embrace of winter itself personified as a being, and that as it stands where it was gazing at this wolf, you see it cowers in its wake and then you reappear right next to, or a little bit back behind Mazmir.
I will... And that'll be my turn.
Alright, that brings us to another group of wargs. You guys have sussed it out at this point, really. Alright, looks like they're going to start trying to make climb checks to try to get down. As you guys manage to take care of this one group, you hear another one making the same attempt of trying to climb down. And unfortunately for the wargs, the slick rocks that they're trying to scale down in pursuit of you is causing them to lose their footing. And two more of them plummet to the ground.
To their death.
They don't die instantly like the one did, but
These wargs are lemmings.
you see they fall and they get back up on their feet. Alara's no longer close to them, to that side basically, so they don't have enough movement to get close to anybody really, so they're just gonna, tumble down the side of the cliff very painfully and then stand back up and kind of ready their action for anyone to come in.
Losers.
You see the third one in their group is seeing all this happen and is just kind of, nervously pacing at the top of the cliffside,
Smart fella.
kind of trying to suss out how to overcome this problem.
Do a flip.
And you hear this kind of clamor from up there as the wargs are barking with each other and trying to vocalize and problem solve as a pack. So that's going to bring it to Yuriael next.
I calmly take a bag off my back, sift through
Don't
for just a moment, pull out a length of rope, coil it down, and I sort of whisper to it. And all of a sudden the rope springs up into the air, 30 foot high, and at the top of it, an interdimensional door appears. And I climb up the rope and enter into the door. And as I'm entering into the door, I yell out, "Hey guys, it's probably safe up here."
What?
So yeah, you hear the voice and you see the rope kind of just dangling in midair on its own.
Pops up.
After his turn, though, it goes back to the wargs at the top of the cliff, who are, barking and problem solving, trying to figure out a way to get down.
You can't even see the
They're
road.
going to keep trying to climb down the
Right.
hill. So this group C ain't fucking around. He's the one that's leading the path, crawling down. The other two are following it almost in step. And as they go, they start just jumping down to the bottom with relative ease. So at this point, they use up almost all their movement to get down to the bottom. We'll say they use all of it, honestly. Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to gone far even with the leap. So they climb down and rejoin the two that toppled down. So now there are 5 of them kind of lined up along the edge of the cliffside here, snarling and snapping. Group A goes immediately after that. So same thing. We'll see if we can get the whole brigade down here. All right, so yeah, those toppled down. And same thing, they use up their movement. They're not in range to get to anybody, but now there are, what am I losing count? 8 of them. But that is it for them. It goes to Galil next, and then we're back on round, so.
How close is the closest one to me?
15 feet.
Okay. So I want to.
I guess just tell me if you want to hit Group B, C, or A. Or A, B, C, however you want to do. You guys have killed Group D.
I want to hit one of the ones that was hurt. One of the ones that just came down.
Okay, that'll be Group A.
I'm gonna hit Group A. So I pull out my shield and my hammer, and I run up 15 feet to one of them, and what looks like you've seen me cast Searing Smite before starts to happen, where a flame starts to come up the hilt of my hammer, but instead of regular flame, it turns black, and I cast Inflict Wounds at the 2nd level.
Nice.
Ooh, Mr. Do-Right's getting a little naughty.
21.
That hits.
What was it,
31.
31.
Yeah.
Necrotic damage too, right?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, as this black flame loads up, it's just like when he casts Toll the Dead, and as soon as he touches it with this flame, it like immolates him. He doesn't have to swing the hammer hard because all it has to do is make contact with him. And as soon as he does, this black flame erupts over his body like this low aura. It doesn't get out of control, it just singes him to the core, and you see like blood start coming out of his eyes and stuff, and he withers intently, but he's still clinging to life.
All these black goopy veins.
And that'll be my turn. Just keep my shield held.
That was dope.
It was.
Azamir.
So my first thought is, a warg has just turned into confetti in front of me.
Oh, yeah.
Elara is behind me. I hear, guys, it's safe up here. I'm dancing lights, whatever I heard Yuriael See the rope. I'm gonna go to the rope and climb the rope.
Okay. Give him an athletics check.
It's him. I suppose I can't dash because I use dancing light. That makes sense. It's dark. It's raining and panicking. That's an 8 on the athletics.
Not great.
Okay, so yeah, you're grabbing onto it, but it's like slick from the rain, and you're just like, I can't get it. All right, that brings it to Elara.
It's just as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Starry Form and choose Archer. So,
Nice.
10 feet bright light around me, and another 10 feet of dim light around me. The form of the Archer constellation forms on my body, and I kind of just go astral.
Yeah, basically, and it looks like an aurora borealis, like
Yeah.
a cold northern sky.
And instead of doing anything with it right now, I'm going to rock another lightning bolt down. Are there any within 5 feet of each other?
Oh yeah, they're all basically they're all like shoulder to shoulder essentially.
I want to call down. If you want to do it on a specific group or something, I'm non-discriminate as long as I can hit 2 with the 1 lightning. Actually, it's anyone within 5 feet of that creature.
I mean, you
so-
would know that if you target Group B,
Yeah.
you're likely to hit at least 1 wolf from each group.
Okay, then I will do that. That's 18, 26,
It's almost 40
35 damage.
Almost max.
And half that for
17 on the others.
Yeah.
All right, so with that lightning bolt, you kill 3 of them, but there are still 5 more left.
All right. Well, that is my turn. I will stay where I'm at.
Okay.
Glowing.
This last group, or this last warg on Group B, is going to go after you. You're still right there, right after doing the touch attack. All right, so he's going to make a bite attack. And he misses with a 9, and that brings it to Yuriael next. So now you can ready your help action if that's what you want to do.
Can I
Lean out of the hole.
either like have my legs and then lean down backwards out of the hole and be looking down, shooting, or do I need to get back on the rope and try and like hold myself on the rope and be shooting?
Yeah, make a climb check to do it, but yeah, as long as you don't use more than half your movement to get down, you can use your half your movement to get back up.
Okay. But anyway, so you said athletics?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I got a -1.
Flips out of the hole.
Shoots from the ground. Hey, it wouldn't be cool. It wouldn't be cool if there weren't any stakes.
How high up is it?
30 feet.
Yeah. Let's
Could have done
do it.
60.
Let's do it.
That look on your face was so classic.
Well, it wasn't as bad as it can get, but with a -1.
Oh,
It becomes. Oh, I'm trying to see.
No, it's a 1. He rolled a 2. It's a 1.
All right.
What's it?
Yeah, that's a 1.
Oh wait, is he falling on top of me?
Oh, jeez, that's funny.
Can I attempt to grab the rope as I fall?
I think it's.
Yeah, give me a dex save.
Oh, God.
You're already like concentrating on leaning back, and you just don't have. You've never.
There's no bar
You've
here.
never. There's no frame of reference. You've never leaned out of an extra dimensional space before, and so you don't feel that same purchase as you do on something tangible.
Right.
And so like
This
you
has got to be animated.
kind of miscalculate the way you need to hold your legs, and you go back and you instantly feel yourself start to flip over your center of gravity, and you start to slip out, and you look up, look down, and you see Azamir with wide eye as you're coming down at him. You try to scramble to grab the rope, and you get purchased on it
I like to imagine I'm upside down holding the rope like a stripper going down.
like it's a fire pole. Better, like a fucking supply drop. Yuriael just slides down the rope and slams into the ground. So you have 13 falling damage as you just bam.
Oh my gosh, that was all of your health.
I just want you to know that you've used 2 rounds of combat to achieve this.
How much of my movement did I use?
I mean, all your movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. All your movement, but you still have your action because you didn't do anything beyond that.
You didn't do anything useful.
You dash to get up, or you can
Beyond falling out of the hole, you didn't do much.
So from seeing this combat, how are my friends looking? Are they hurt?
I don't think anyone's been bit yet.
He said,
You're the most.
You're the most.
And how's everybody?
I think that's the first time I've rolled damage on anybody. Except for the wargs that have been quite apt at hurting themselves.
Yes, they have.
I'm just gonna like sit there laying on my face for a second. Like, oh fuck, that sucks.
Think about what you've done.
And then like I'm gonna like mumble like we'll say like a prayer to the druid god, and, just be like, please nature, I have fucked up, help me, and I call forth a healing spirit.
Okay.
Are you casting it in your area?
I'm gonna have it straddle me.
Try to get to cast to straddle you, but instead it just like sits on your face.
Even better. I really want it. Is that you, Lady Snide? It feels so familiar.
So wrong.
Can't come down the rope too.
Is that gracefully spinning?
Yeah, absolutely, like a fucking ball dancer. Just my goodness. All right, so we can get back to serious mode. I'm going to tear you apart with these wargs.
All crits.
All right, so they can see these guys flailing over there, trying to get in this rope. Galil is laying down the necrotic hurt. Okay, so I think Group C is going to split up. All three of them are still alive, some more hurt than others, but one is going to go and bite at Galil just like the other group did. The other one is going to go after Azamir, and then the other one is going to go after Elara.
Well, I'm 60 feet away.
So far away.
It's going to dash. Can't bite you, but it gets right in your face. Just mark. Okay, so
Bork.
it's like, just get
Just imagine, you know that one the video about the pug who like runs up to the gate and just like slides all the way up to it? I imagine that. Just feet all the way up there.
bite. Azamir hits you for a 19 to hit.
Hey,
As it's trying to drag you to the ground.
I'm a strong boy. That's a natural 20, baby. Strong boy.
He's so strong.
Oh, look at me.
It bites onto your britches like the copper tone baby, but you managed to get away.
The fuck?
You also take 10 points of piercing damage.
Oh,
as well.
there's a fourth of my health.
So that hurt. Bite. Now, one on Galil.
Clink on his armor.
That is a 23 to hit.
Oh, that is.
Yeah, that's going to get strength save from you as well.
15.
You're ready. Pass.
Oh,
You still take 13 from the bite, though. All right, that was Group C. Now we're on to Group A. There's only one of these wargs left, and is already
tough feet.
in the process of... No, this is the one that got inflicted wounds. So this is the necrotic one. As you see, it's got wounds all over it. It's in such a state at this point that it's just going to try to disengage and get away. So it even at this point, it's not able to move that far. It only gets about 25 feet from you. But you see it's just kind of hobbling towards the edge of the canyon. And that's going to bring it to you.
As it hobbles away, I want to point at it and just resonate the sound of a bell and cast Toll the Dead on it.
Natural 1.
Yeah,
That is so
fucking brave.
Dope.
16.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so as it's walking away weakly, just completely removed from this engagement, point at it, you see like the sound of a bell come over the canyon, and it echoes in a way you've not heard before through the side of this ridge. And as it does, you just see the thing erupt in black fire and burn to a crisp in place. Would you like to move or anything? There's one from Group C on you still.
I just want to try to
Possibly
keep
two.
myself between them and the rest of my party if possible.
Okay, easily done. You just get right back into the thick of the last two that are over there. But yeah, that goes to round now. Back to Azamir.
All right.
These remnants are still here. I think there's one on you, and then there's two on Galil, and then one on Elara.
There's only 4 left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to cast Ice Knife. Yeah, Forcify, yeah. And will it hurt Galil, or is there a way you can get around that?
The splash wall. There's really no way that you're going to be able to.
Yeah, greater good.
I've got the resolve.
Greater good. I'm casting it. And roll for the attack. I kind of hold out my spell book again. The pages flip, and The force bolt launches out from the pages once again. Just could have played off that. That was my roll. So that is a 15.
Okay, that hits.
Okay. Yep. So the one
with the dex,
the both of them that I
will as well.
the one that I target takes 6 force damage from the initial, and then it is going to take 8. Everything else is going to take 8 force damage, or half that if they save.
So I fail my dex save, and you just see my shield kind of get blown back over my head. You just see me kind of, or hear me laugh through the snow, and I just say, "Nice shot, Azamir."
Really?
That one hurt.
Don't worry, Giliel, I got you.
But the one that you hit with the initial impact, you see that it gets toppled and blown away, and it just falls dead. Anything else on your turn?
I would like to scuttle up this rope.
All right, you're gonna try to
I know there's a dude on me, but safety versus what's going on right now. That's a natural 20.
There it goes, finally. So you scurry up the rope.
Yeah.
All right, so as he disappears through the rope trick hole, brings it to Elara next.
I'll take no attack from
What creatures are left?
One by the rope trick, one by Giliel, and then one by
Are they within 5 feet of each other?
No, spread out pretty well, actually.
I will cast Call Lightning down, I guess, in whatever way it won't hit me, whether it be right behind it or something, on the one that's within 5 feet of me. So it's dex save.
Another nat 1, so it's definitely a fail.
Well, 12. Damage.
All right, that one had already taken some damage, and you see this lightning comes down, and almost like before, it just hits it just right. The jolt grounds through it, and it just goes rigid and falls over dead. So now there's just one on Giliel and one on the rope trick.
Then I will use my bonus action to hurl a luminous arrow at, I guess, the one that attacked Giliel. 20 to hit.
Yeah, definitely. So that was 11.
What did I say? 11 damage. Yeah,
It's
radiant.
flat at 20.
All right, awesome. Anything else? You want to move it all? Still a ways off. What's the range on that bolt? Is it 60 or 30?
60 feet.
Okay, so you're
So
still.
I will move up
You
30
probably
feet
need to move up a little.
closer to the fray.
Not that much necessarily, but it's gone. So after Elara, it goes right back to Yuriael. So you can stand up from prone if you like, but there is a warg right next to you.
I do stand up.
Okay.
Since well, no, there's lights here,
Dancing lines.
There's a light around.
so it can see me. I guess I'm gonna bonus action Hunter's Mark, the one that's on Giliel, and then I'm going to try to shoot it.
All right. It'll impose a disadvantage. Having to shoot while I'm melee poses disadvantage.
Well,
From attacking me.
You're still you. There's a good chance
Takes
you'll
a
hit.
5 back.
Revoke an AoE.
Yeah, you could take a move and
I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to move 10 foot back.
take a quick bite at you. It's not good, so it's only a 9, so he does miss. So you get your freedom to move a bit.
These warg are really showing us their stripes.
So Hunter's Mark,
great.
the one that is on Giliel.
You're afraid for not.
At least 0.5.
Actually, instead of stepping just 10 feet back, can I step far enough back so that I'm out of the dancing lights?
Definitely.
Get back into
Just
the
fade back into the darkness.
Yes.
They don't have advantage on the attack.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well, not only am I going to do that, I'm going to use my sharpshooter feat to take a -5 for a +10. 26 minus 5, 21 on the first one.
Okay, roll damage.
Okay.
Or was the one on Giliel, or was the
Yes, there's two.
Okay.
It was, yeah.
So that's 8 plus 10 is 18 plus 4 is 22.
The howitzer bolt.
Oh yeah, quite so. Like it's like a sniper's through shot. Like he puts so much just stank on this bow that the thing goes right through this warg's head.
Classic.
And you're like right next to it, so just like entry wound, exit wound, just splat, and the thing goes dead.
Straight through the eye. Okay. So, same thing again. I'm assuming it can't see me still since I'm invisible.
How far away did you go? Oh yeah, you went far enough that. Okay, so you're at least 20 feet. Yeah, I would say it can't see you.
So I'm going to take another -5 for the +10. 23.
That's gonna hit.
17 damage.
I'm not gonna finish it.
I would like to shoot it as well, straight through the eye.
All right, just a straight through shot.
Just
Yeah, you just hear two sounds. Sound of a rubber band snap of a bowstring, and then the sound of steel piercing flesh. And it just goes one after another. Thunk, boom, and the battle is over.
I almost like to imagine you loaded both.
Actually, no, the battle is not over.
There's one more.
There's still one more up there. You hear it yipping and growling. And as you're looking up to see where it's going to come down from, or if it's even going to come down from, you hear a and then a low, grumbly, warbling sound. Then quickly there's a sound of scuffling rock and a pained cry of a warg. Then silence for about 3 seconds before you hear the wing beats.
Wait, can I call lightning?
Yes. Okay. So you call lightning just somewhere random on the cliffside, and give me a perception check.
18.
Okay, so the rest can roll if you want to. You see him crack the lightning.
I
You
am
don't look
in
it
an
up.
extra dimension.
Oh yeah, you're in a hole.
19 plus 7, that's it.
Alright, so
26.
as the scouts they've been this whole session, once again with amazing perception checks, the two of you look up and see this lightning come down and silhouette this creature. You see the limp silhouette of a warg being clutched by the powerful talons and wing beats of a griffin. And as you look up to the sky, clouds overhead, the rain beats pattering against your face. That is where we're going to end our session. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening to our show.
Fun time.
If you enjoy what we do, please leave us a review. Tell your friends about us. You can find us on Spotify or Patreon, and you can join our group on Facebook to get all of our updates. Yeah.
Thanks everyone.
Only you can get us Persephone's Tavern.
That's right.
Yeah, get us an actual tavern. Fuck a
Buy us
house.
a house.
Hell yeah.
And write it over to us.
Get out this tiny little
That's the
recording
plan. Yeah.
Get us out of this little shack in the middle of nowhere. Okay, bye-bye.
Stay tuned.
I'm being held against my...
Tales will be sung as we share our adventures with friends old and young. So come raise your glass to the heroes so bold in Persephone's Tavern, where legends are told.
It's the end of the show, which means it's time to take a look at the bounty board. This week we have Radical Toaster and Krinko. A humble thanks to them for their continued support. If you would like to support the show and hear your name on the bounty board, find us at patreon.com, search Persephone's Tavern to learn more.